Joining us right now is Tymofiy Mylovanov. He's a professor of Kyiv University. Thank you so much for your time, and we really appreciate you joining us at a time when Kyiv is being pursued relentlessly by Russia. The bombardments continue, and like we just reported, residential buildings are getting targeted. Do give us an understanding of the current situation right now vis-a-vis this displacement that we are seeing of the people. At the end of the day, it's going to boil down to all of these Ukrainians leaving their homes, and they are displaced. Their lives have been turned upside down. What does it really look like right now, Professor?
Thank you very much for inviting me and for giving this opportunity to talk to you and your media platform. What can I say? You just have shown these images from Ukraine. They're devastating. You're absolutely right that millions of Ukrainians have become displaced. Many Ukrainians, also millions, are refugees right now. The most terrible situation is happening in the city Mariupol in the southeast, which has been almost destroyed. 90% of residential areas is destroyed, and the battles there, the combats are happening, building to building. I am more lucky and privileged. I live in the capital city of Kyiv, and the city is well protected. It is a fortress. It is a huge city with working supply lines, with working electricity and water, with open grocery stores, and a nice, very well designed system of subways, basements, and other shelters that people can attend to. From my own experience, I can tell you that we hear airstrike alarms almost every hour. We have these notifications by official media, but also we use special applications on our smartphones, so we can hear alarms very well in the night, in the morning, during the day. We usually go to our shelter just to protect ourselves. And even though I was quite lucky that my neighborhood is not attacked yet directly, but we can hear all the explosions very well. Sometimes it's our airstrike defense shooting something, and we can hear it well. Sometimes it's explosions. You already said that this was a shopping mall destroyed. It is quite far from my home, and yet we were, we heard it very well. Even the cars and alarms on cars reacted immediately. So it's quite stressful, but people are handing strong. We have territorial defense, we have military, we have a lot of volunteers to support army, to bring them food, water, medicine. Our government tries to discipline people and take care of them. For instance, occasionally we have these curfews. We will have a curfew starting today at 8 in the evening, and we will have to stay at our home for, I believe, 2 days. And the reason for that is that our police force and territorial defense, they're fighting against saboteurs. So there are special groups of Russian soldiers who are located somewhere in the Kyiv, and they behave as, as spies. They collect information, but also they try to target infrastructure objects and civilian objects. So every night there is a combat between our defenses and these saboteurs. And as civilians, we try to take shelter to stay in safety. But every morning and every day, we check on our neighbors, we volunteer, we donate food, we donate medicine, we help to elderly people. If they cannot buy something, we buy it and we bring it to them. And we try to stay in touch with all our family and friends, just to support each other.
Yes.
Because this war is very much a war of will. Ukrainians, we have to stay strong and we have to show our will and support to each other. So that's how we can survive.
There was an offer, Professor, from Russia to Ukraine, which the Ukrainians, essentially the government, turned down. Surrendered the city of Mariupol. You agree with this decision that has been taken by Ukraine to say an absolute no to Russians, saying that the question of giving up arms or surrendering our city, the port city of Mariupol, does not even arise?
Yeah, the thing is that Ukrainian government and has very strong opinion of not surrendering, and Ukrainian population, including myself, we endorse this belief. And I have to put this in a context, in a historical context. You know, for us, this war did not start 3 weeks ago. For us, this war started in 2014-15 with the occupation of Crimea, Donbass, Lugansk. And I have many friends who escaped from Donetsk and from Lugansk. And we have a lot of eyewitnesses who, you know, who were tortured, people who experienced this firsthand. They were tortured, they were kidnapped. So basically, when Russia gets your city, it's really dangerous to stay there. You know, if you give up, it means that you give up your people. They will harass civilians, they will capture city mayors, they will take people to camps, and we don't want it. You know, for us, it's a matter of survival. We cannot just give up cities, because this will mean that we give up our civilians to these international criminals. So this is not an option.
But there are diplomatic
also,
talks that are going on. What do you really expect as a citizen of Ukraine? Do you expect Russia and Ukraine to arrive at a solution? At the end of the day, we've seen 26 days of the war. There's been destruction everywhere.
Absolutely, you're right. But as I just said, this has been for 8 years. This war has been a very long war for Ukraine, and we definitely want to come to peaceful solution. We want to survive. We want to live. You know, we did not attack Russia. We are protecting ourselves. And our government and our president signals that, you know, they need negotiations. They want to negotiate. They're calling for international parties to participate in negotiation, for instance, in Israel. So maybe Israel can be a country to host negotiations. We also consider Turkey. There are many options on the table, and the Ukrainian president have said that, you know, we are open to negotiate, but the negotiations cannot imply destruction of Ukrainian sovereignty and statehood.
Okay. Important. No compromise as far as Ukrainian sovereignty and statehood is concerned. Professor Mylovanov, thank you so much for your perspective. Thank you for joining us. Do be safe.
Thank you very much, and thank you to all Indian people.
The Russian-Ukraine war has become more deadly. Russia has claimed that it has used hypersonic Kinzhal missiles to destroy a large weapons depot in Ukraine's western Ivano-Frankivsk region. Moscow has never before admitted using the high-precision weapon in combat. Here's more.
A deadly missile which destroys its target with devastating ferocity and with unimaginable speed. Before you breathe, blink or have any chance to respond, traveling 5 times the speed for sound, or at an astounding speed of nearly 6,200 kilometers an hour. Enter the super deadly and lightning-fast hypersonic Kinzhal missile system, the Russian word for dagger. Kremlin has let the world know that it used the hypersonic missiles to destroy a large weapons depot in Ukraine's Ivano-Frankivsk region. Russia posted a video saying its missiles struck the arms depot in Delyatin, a village in southwestern Ukraine, only 100 kilometers from the border with Romania.
18 марта авиационным ракетным комплексом «Кинжал».
On March 18th, Kinzhal missile system armed with hypersonic aeroballistic missiles destroyed a large Ukrainian forces underground depot contained missiles and aircraft ammunition in the settlement of Delyatin of Ivano-Frankivsk region in western Ukraine.
В населенных пунктах Великий Дальник и Великодолинская Одесской области.
There is currently no way to stop or intercept the hypersonic missiles because they can change direction while mid-flight. Hypersonic cruise missiles are propelled by a high-speed jet engine and not gravitational forces used by traditional ballistic missiles. Russia may have used the MiG-31 fighters to deploy the missiles, which can carry both nuclear and conventional warheads. In any case, this is a massive step up for Russian invasion forces, accused of using oxygen-killing thermo-aerobic vacuum bombs and targeting civilian areas and committing unimaginable war crimes. Will the Western countermeasures and counter-strike military hardware supplied to Ukraine be able to defeat Russia's game-changing missile strikes? With Rajesh Pawar in Kyiv, Bureau Report, India Today.
Let's get you more details of the killer Kinzhal missile. It's a super-fast, low-lying and maneuverable speed of 6,000 kilometers per hour. The speed is 5 times that of sound. It can hit targets 2,000 kilometers away. The payload is to the tune of 480 kilograms. It can carry nukes, conventional warheads propelled by high-speed jet engines. It doesn't follow a preset flight path. It can change trajectory mid-flight. There is no way to stop or intercept this missile. Now, as